So we're going to go to the next category, which is overall favorite, and I get to start this category. I'm going to return to an election that Dr. Chod had an ad from earlier on, the Nixon-Humphrey race in 1968. I mentioned at the outset that we're categorizing ads a little differently these days. We're talking about advocacy, attack, and contrast. And the ad that I'm going to show now is my favorite example of a contrast ad. It, too, is pretty low budget. It's 1968. We weren't spending a ton of money producing ads, and the technology is pretty low budget. It's also, I think, intentionally a humorous ad, but it does very nicely draw contrast between, from the Humphrey campaign's perspective, of course, Richard Nixon and Hubert Humphrey.
What has Richard Nixon ever done for you?
What has Richard Nixon ever done for me? Medicare. No, that was Humphrey's idea. But Nixon. What, a bomb? The nuclear bomb? No, it was Humphrey's idea to stop testing the bomb. But Nixon... Well, what has Richard Nixon ever done for me? Let's see. Working people, I'm a worker. Nixon ever do anything? No. Humphrey and the Democrats gave us Social Security. But Nixon... Nothing in education. Nothing in housing. Hasn't done anything there either.
The preceding has been a paid political announcement by Citizens for Humphrey Muskie.
That's funny. There must have been something Nixon's done.
All right, so I think I had to fight Dr. Caliendo a little bit for this one because he enjoys this one as well. So this is a Wisconsin House race, the Wisconsin 3rd in 2006. And this is Ron Kind, the incumbent, who's running against Paul R. Nelson. And in 2006, if we go back a little bit and think about what's going on in 2006. So in this election, George W. Bush has been reelected in 2004. We see escalation with the Iraq War. We see the issues with Hurricane Katrina and the Bush administration's response. We see a very low approval rating for George W. Bush. And as we're moving into the midterms in 2006, it's an opportunity for the Democrats to potentially take back control of Congress. So while Ron Kind is a Democrat, and so that while that doesn't necessarily mean anything for the ad, I think the context is very important, which is that Republicans are trying very hard to maintain their majority that it took them 50 years to get. And so they're trying to figure out a way to oust Democrats that are in potentially marginal districts by bringing up inflammatory issues regarding a voting record and bringing it up in a way, so as Dr. Caliendo talked about a 1952 sexy, this is more of a 2006 sexy. And although we would expect there to be a high production value, I'll let you see for yourself.
With our servicemen and women facing death every day, what kind of congressman would try to gut military spending? The wrong kind, Ron Kind. That's right, Congressman Ron Kind is repeatedly voted to deprive our troops of the funding they need to fight for us. But Ron Kind has no trouble spending your money. He would just rather spend it on sex. That's right, instead of spending money on cancer research, Ron Kind voted to spend your money to study the sex lives of Vietnamese prostitutes. Instead of spending money to study heart disease, Ron Kind spent your money to study the masturbation habits of old men. Ron Kind spent your tax dollars to study something called the bisexual, transgendered, and two-spirited Aleutian Eskimos, whoever they are. Ron Kind even spent your tax dollars to pay teenage girls to watch pornographic movies with probes connected to their genitalia. Ron Kind pays for sex, but not for soldiers. If Ron Kind had better priorities, you wouldn't be having to hear this. Ron Kind is out of touch, and soon he'll be out of Congress.
I'm Paul R. Nelson, and I approve of this message.
Hello again. So in this day and age where we have many ads that are meant to attack opponents, meant to contrast the issues of opponents to their opponents, I really love going back in time to this 1960 ad from the John F. Kennedy campaign against Richard Nixon. There's something so refreshing about this heartfelt, upbeat, and chipper ad that really my only goal for you today is to leave with this stuck in your head. The jingle is contagious in this video, so I hope you enjoy it.
Kennedy, Kennedy for me. Kennedy. Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through, but not so doggone seasoned that he won't try something new? A man who's old enough to know
and young enough to do.
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you.
Do you like a man who answers straight, a man who's always fair?
We'll measure him against the others, and when you compare, you cast your vote for Kennedy and a change that's overdue. So it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. Yes, it's Kennedy, 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 Kennedy for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy,
All right, this is a perfect transition from Dr. Mark's ad to my ad. So what we're going to see is an ad. Actually, it's a music video from the 2008 primary, actually Barack Obama versus John McCain. And this ad actually was produced by the lead singer from the Black Eyed Peas, will.i.am. And interestingly, it was not initially controlled by the Obama campaign. They didn't have anything to do with it until they made the ad, produced the ad, released it, and it went viral. It was very, very popular. It actually won an Emmy, at which point the Obama administration realizes the power of this ad and connected with it and then started distributing it as well. And it's a little bit longer. It's 4 minutes in length, but it's very, very, I like it because it's very inspirational. I think it captures well some of the excitement and the energy of that 08 race, some of the optimism, especially for young people. So remembering 2008 and the dynamic that was playing out and how it's so fundamentally different from some of what we're seeing today. Yeah, all right, so it's 4 minutes. Yes, we can.
It was a creed written into the founding documents that declared the destiny of a nation. Yes, we can. It was whispered by slaves and abolitionists as they blazed the trail toward freedom. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
It was sung
by immigrants as they struck out to the shores, pioneers who pushed westward against unforgiving wilderness. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
It was the call of workers who organized, women who reached for the ballots, a president who chose the moon as our new frontier,
and a king who took us to the mountaintop and pointed the way to the promised land.
Yes, we can to justice and equality.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can to opportunity and prosperity. Yes, we can to opportunity and prosperity. Yes, we can heal this nation.
Heal this nation.
Yes, we can repair this world. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. We know the battle ahead will be long. But always remember that no matter what obstacles stand in our way, nothing can stand in the way of the power of millions of voices calling for change.
We want change. We want change. We want change.
We have been told we cannot do this by a chorus of cynics. It will only grow louder and more disciplined. We've been asked to pause for a reality check. We've been warned against offering the people of this nation false hope.
But in the unlikely story that is America, there's never been anything false about hope.
Want change, it's all gonna change.
public school in Dillon are the same as the dreams of boy who learns on the streets of LA.
We will remember that there's something happening in America.
That we are not as divided as our politics suggest. That we are one people. That we are one nation. And together we will begin the next great chapter in the American story with 3 words that will ring from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. Yes, we can. 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 Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.